Sound check microphone. Hello, hello. Ah, man. Too giddy. Yeah, so I just got this in today, whatever this is. I'm too excited. To share with you guys what I just have here at my back. This one. Whew. I can't even imagine that this guitar exists. Maybe just a few would have a similar guitar, but not this one. Yeah, this guitar is actually one of the guitars that saved Gibson in the 90s. This is an epitome of Gibson. You know, if you're going to collect a guitar, you might as well collect something similar to this, or this guitar itself. I borrowed this from a friend. This is not mine. I borrowed this guitar because I was browsing YouTube and Guitar Historian. I'll show you this one. And he said that the Gibson that saved Gibson was fake. How can that be? Save Gibson in the 90s is actually fake. Would you believe this? So I had a great story actually.
Fans could see Slash playing a burst Les Paul on those first world tours, but the story of where this guitar came from would surprise everybody. During the recording of Appetite, Slash was becoming more and more frustrated by his tone. He was using several Jackson and BC Rich guitars and just wasn't getting the power that he was looking for. The band's manager, Alan Niven, would go on a hunt for a guitar that would suit Slash's tastes, and he'd heard about a place where he might score one. He went down to Music Works in Redondo Beach, California. He remembers paying about $2,500 for a gorgeous lemon burst Les Paul and dutifully returned it to the studio to present it to Slash. The story goes that as soon as Slash plugged the guitar into the Marshall, the magical tone blew everybody in the room away. He had found his Excalibur. Almost immediately, Gibson saw a huge increase in the popularity of the Les Paul line of guitars. Rockers everywhere were rediscovering the sweet but raunchy tones that could be coaxed from a properly fitted Paul, and the vintage market for burst Les Pauls, those made between 1958 and 1960 by Gibson, exploded and have never come down to this day. Gibson certainly welcomed the new interest in the Les Paul line, which again found itself on the rocks financially in the mid-80s due to the Super Strat fad that had lasted through their entire decade. Now suddenly every hard rocker needed a big honking Les Paul to sound just like Slash. But despite all this hullabaloo for Gibson, most guitar fans didn't know that the guitar Slash played on Appetite for Destruction wasn't a Gibson at all. It was a copy, albeit an extremely well-made copy, made by California luthier Chris Derrick. He had a small shop behind Music Works and was known for making 59 copies that were extremely authentic and made from high-quality woods. For some reason, he decided to go with Seymour Duncan Alnico 2 zebra-colored pickups, which gave the guitar a more modern sound, along with the vintage scream from the wood. A legendary, one-of-a-kind axe had been born. But Derrick and Slash unwittingly would once again renew the public's interest in the Gibson Les Paul, in much the way that Eric Clapton did in the mid-60s, when he used a Les Paul on John Mayall's seminal Blues Breakers album. The 90s would see a renaissance of Gibson returning to form, not just with the Les Paul, but also with the 335, and in metal with the Explorer and Flying V models. So, in a strange way, it was a fake Gibson that saved Gibson. To complete the ultimate irony, Gibson last year released the Slash collection, basing the Les Paul standard off of his number one. So, Gibson was forced to examine and copy a copy of a Gibson. Sometimes, the rock and roll gods are just hilarious.
I was really surprised actually on what he found out. So without further ado, please like and subscribe and share as much as possible if you like this video. And might as well. Here it is. Pinapawisan ako kaka-video. Okay. Anyway, ayan. Without further ado, here it is. Awesome looking Appetite for Destruction. Inspired. Gibson Custom R9. Yun eh. R9. Sinabing R9 is a 1959 reissue, so it is one of the sought after series of custom. This is hand-picked wood, hand-picked wood. Very special yung kanyang grains, plain maple. Even the original Appetite for Destruction is not as good as this. Like this Les Paul R9s are the best Les Paul, sabi nila. But yeah, for me, I like the R9. It's not too thick, not too thin neck. Okay, this one is perfectly, I just realized siguro nung first time ko hinawakan yung R9 ni Tito John, I was like, maybe I was not ready for an R9 that time. So this time around, I'm changing my mind. Look at that. Yeah, on this light, it's perfect. You see? Yeah, Gibson logo right there. I love PRS because of their flame maple, you know. All the Gibson or the Les Pauls that I see in the store never came close to this quality of wood. It's like a collectible knob. Just this knob itself, you have to buy yan. Nakita nyo parang kinakalawang yung bridge. Yeah, it was meant to be like that. It's meant to be aged. Kasi reissue siya 1959. So this is the look of that aged cream knobs, you know. It's perfect actually. You'd know if a guitar is special if you see these kinds of knobs sometimes. You know, when you look on the store, like, oh, Les Paul. Then you see aged knobbed. Oh, now you know that one might be 1957 to 60s collectible. And makita nyo rin dito, yun yung difference din. Yung pagbibili ka ng mga standard ngayon, it doesn't look like this. More white edged bell truss rod cover. Yeah, medyo manipis siya pero makita mas makapal yung white edged. Mga standard ngayon, not really. Yan siya. Makikita nyo agad to. R9. Talagay. It's not engraved because in 1950s, hindi naman nila in-engrave yung numbers dito before, and it doesn't show any made in USA here, you know. That is just a number. That time, medyo yung mga numbering system nila, their numbering system is not perfect that time. So just this one, you know, this is a reissue, so they will say this R9. There you go. You can decode this some online decoder para makita nyo kung kailan siya ginawa talaga. And yeah, Cluson. Is it still Cluson? Yep, Cluson Deluxe. And hindi siya mukhang aged, pero this should be aged as well. You know, just this one. Sana makabili ako ng mga kahit ito lang. Okay na yun. Ikwintas ko na lang. Ganap nga ako online. Ito, Lazada ba o meron yan? Of course, these are all mahogany body. I think this is a weight relief. Weight relief meaning binawasan nila yung kahoy sa loob. Para hindi siya ganun mabigat. Really, if I'm not mistaken, these are custom shop pickups. Yan, Slash pickups. These guitars, you only buy these guitars if you have extra. You know, this costs, I think, tansya ko lang nasa 500, 300 to 500. Lalaro doon, di yung bumababa ng 300,000. Yes, sa Pinas. And classic vintage knobs. Kasi noong 1950s, tingnan ang mga klase ng knobs. Of course, I cannot have this for a long while, and hanggang bago mag-New Year, isusoli ko na to. Smell that. Nitro. Kasi ayaw mo pupunasan ko ito, kapatid. Di-disinfect ko ito bago ko isoli. Yo, Merry Christmas everybody. Happy New Year. Thanks. Cheers guys. I wish I had this.